to speak a lot of parables.
She's a melancholy, if we can say, use that Greek word.
Alali is a sanguine. A sanguine, I find him very outgoing.
He is a calm, loving gentleman.
Solomon, ndenda kugambira ekintu ekikimu akama nak Mary alakunda enyama ngeno taguma kulenza hama zoba ashatu otaguzire enyama.
Growing up with Concepta was really fun. She was a very quiet girl. She was quiet and a little reserved.
Solomon is a personal friend. I call him Owangest. Like Owangest, he's Owange wa Hamtima. But I know he's not Owange Nkaiwe, but he's Owange, is my personal friend. I got to know Solomon way back when he was in secondary. I saw him as a very smart young boy.
When she would be like, I'm not doing this, then it would be it. She wouldn't do it. If she says, I'm doing this, then she will do it. She was the academic prefect. She used to like making friends. She was social.
So because of that, I chose him to be my friend. A young boy who is very intelligent and humble. He loved me, of course, as kind of an aunt and also a friend. So we could discuss a lot about school, a lot about his normal life, his other life, social life.
My name is Cash Darlington, and Solomon is my friend. I've known Solomon for quite some time, and there are so many things I have learned from him. But I would like to tell you, Solomon, that today marks the beautiful beginning of a journey.
Growing up with her at home was fun. At times there could be some instances of sibling rivalry. We could fight over this and that, and then we become friends. Just like how any other kids are. We used to call her Conche as she was growing up. And whenever we would become naughty, us and other siblings, whenever we would become naughty, sometimes playing funny games, she would confront us and say, Ndabigamba daddy. Yeah, she was always waiting to see our mistakes and then she reports us. But sometimes she would also play with us.
And I remember every Saturday at church there would be drumming, and we grew up near the church, just across the road. So he would call me, wherever I would be, he would call me, we start dancing, like we'd be home dancing. So I love that he would do it that way, and he has grown to love God. Every day he tells me he prays about everything and how his future would be. Actually, one thing I've learned about him, he's a good listener. Like every time we are home jazzing, he could be there looking at you, he just stares at you and listens every bit of your story. And so at the end of it all, he tells you his opinion. Not like me who keeps on interjecting, because to me I just come in at any time. And then Arali is really the best gift that God has ever given me. I always feel calm and at peace whenever he's around me. When he's happy, I'm happy too. And likewise. So I really thank God for such a day. I'm happy for him, and he also knows.
I would like you to take this message and carry it on with you. You have entered into something very beautiful, and that is marriage. And in marriage, I would like to tell you, my friend, that there is going to always be ups and downs. But whenever you actually get into the ups and downs, what should you always do? Always get to know that you have a very beautiful being. And I believe she believes in you. And so always love her and love her to the fullest. I believe By doing so, she will always also do the same. And always listen to her. Whenever she comes to you, please listen to her. Do whatever you can always to make sure that you keep your relationship in peace. Solomon, as a man, you need to understand one thing. You come from a particular family, she also comes from another family. So we are brought up differently. Now that we are brought up differently, we need to know that because of those differences, we shall always have differences. But for us to maintain our marriage, we need to understand each other. And by understanding each other is to make sure that the small things that we do, the mistakes, we can always learn from them. And once we learn from them, I am very sure we shall always live a very better or a very good kind of life.
I have known Ayureka Mary Concepta since childhood. She is my second follower, and I am very proud to having known Mary Concepta Ayureka. Our childhood was very interesting. There are a number of things she used to do that used to keep me amazed. One of them are that we used to have a timetable where we used to do our work at home. But on a number of occasions, whenever it was her time to do the house chores, she would climb in a guava tree. Concepta, do you remember? So she used to climb in a guava tree and then remain there for a couple of hours, up to 5 hours. Then when it's time for eating, she would come. She would happily come down the guava tree to eat and drink and then go back again. The number of other things that Mary Concepta used to do, for which I will really miss her so much. To mention but a few, there are a number of times where she would call me for evenings, for outings, and those are of course very memorable times. Those are moments that showed that she was really a caring sister of mine, and I'll really miss you, Concepta. How I really wish you wouldn't go and stay with us, but definitely you have to go because this is your time. Solomon, you should know that we have been chasing away all the men, all the boys that came closer to our fence, but it's only you that we are allowed to come. We kept her very safely for you, and we know she'll be a very good wife.
So always love each other and support each other. If you're really to develop, the only way to really grow up is supporting each other. I believe the people who said that behind a very successful man, there is always a woman, they actually meant the same. That the woman supports the man and the man does everything to develop the home. So by supporting each other, I'm very sure that your home will always be what you expect it to be. If you decide to make it a good home, it will definitely be a good home. Love your woman, love her abundantly, and your marriage will last.
He's a very intelligent young man, but today I believe that he's now old because he's now your husband. He's a very intelligent gentleman. He is focused and well behaved. Mwana wengeso, muno, and very humble. He's smart. Of course, that one I cannot deny, Lieutenant Kirora. He's very smart and very handsome. And above all, he fears God. So now that you have started your journey of marriage, I welcome you, Concepta, to this family of friends of Solomon. We are going to love you as our sister, and your home, I believe, is going to be a blessed home.
Yeah, there is a time we sat in a box. It used to be Daddy's suitcase. When he recently was Chegobe, it was his suitcase. So he had kept it for many years. So there is a time we sat in that box. It was a wooden box. We opened it and sat in it. I first sat in it, then she followed and sat in it after me. So we got stuck in the box. We told Martin to come and help us. He failed. Gloria, come and help us. She failed because we were really stuck. Then in the struggle, when they are still looking for ways of how to rescue us from the box, that's when Daddy found us. He first looked at us with this other eye. Then after that, he removed us one by one with too much ease. Then he held us in one hand and caned us. So when he was still caning us, Concepta fell down and ran away. I remained alone. I received more strokes.
I greet you all in the name of Jesus Christ, and I thank each one of you for being alive and keeping everything well and moving on. I wish to share with you a little bit about how we met my beloved one, Concepta Mary Ayureka. This is an angel to me that was sent directly from God, from heaven. My time, sometime back when I was traveling to Germany, I met her at the airport. And this was a time, a rush hour, where everybody was looking to the passport and what. For her, she was returning back to Uganda, and for me, I was going to Germany.
And he was looking for the gate, and he tried to reach out to me. He was so much in a rush. He reached out to me, and I had to just check in the papers to see which gate he was looking for, and I really walked him there.
So we kept there. She helped me on some few things. We ended up exchanging contacts.
He appreciated so much, and I remember him taking my number that time. It was a bit strange at that time, but I didn't know where it was going.
And for me, when I went for study, I didn't know that she was also here doing other work and progressing with life, as I was also progressing there.
So we kept on, as he was away, he just kept on sending a hi, how are you? We just kept some jazz going on. After some weeks, some months, we were jazzing.
So we kept on the friendship, the chat, the communication, and then until I came back, and then
later on, of course, I had known him more, and I think I understood who he is, what he does, what his whole personality and all. So a time came when he has to to launch.
We also proceeded, and from there, as friends who help one another in different areas. So later, when I expressed my sincere and heartfelt interest and love for her, she really accepted my request.
So I just remember that time, and I felt a very strong conviction inside me that I'm not going to play the try and catch me game at this time. So I just felt something really flow to the right direction. So it wasn't a hard time.
And I thank God so much that we all love each other. We found ourselves having the same interest, same kind of arrangements in life, same point of focus, and we are looking at the future as the best.
Yeah, so and here we are. Of course, he would, all that time before he really got to the main point, to the main headline of why we are here today, he used to speak a lot of parables. He was somebody, I would even find myself asking him, but you man, how old are you? Because he used to talk like an old man of 70, 80, because of the many parables he would build on. He brings all the stories of the Bible, then joins with all the tales of the traditions. And me, I would just really watch, and I think that also really was also building a case in my head. I was getting attached every other day. Yeah, so of course I didn't manage to interpret the parables. I would ask him to break it down, and sometimes he would, sometimes would just leave me hanging. So you would take a lot of wisdom to figure out where he wants you to go or what he's deriving at. So, but me, I found it interesting. It's not boring. Yeah, then there is really this one day, something I felt switched on in my head. Only this, I think I'm the only one who can tell how I got a light switched on in my head. And from that time, I think I started understanding him very well. I was able to interpret his parables. I was always able to understand what he is doing and what he's trying to say. And life became smoother.
And we are looking at the future as the best, for the best, and seeing ourselves grow together, love each other, and celebrate our achievements in life together.
Alali is a sanguine. A sanguine, I find him very outgoing. He's very, very social. Sometimes we are moving, wherever we are going, he maybe spots a friend or spots any person whom he feels he looks up to or he knows. He is always very quick to reach out to them and greet, and he's also telling me, let's go. And to me, of course, I would feel like I'm better off not being seen, but for him, he really wants to reach out, and we greet them. And of course, I have also realized that it is making me more social, and I also really appreciate, it is the reason, had I not greeted, it is the reason as to why we are also here celebrating us today. You see, I got a whole destiny from a great. So to my fellow ladies, take a leaf.
The way of my life, how I've grown up, I thank each one of you for really helping me grow up, because in an African setting, a child is raised up by a community. Personally, I've been raised by so many people. Those who gave me gavas to eat, those who gave me food, those who told me go to school, run, it's time, those who helped me in different ways. I really appreciate you so much, because even where I've reached, it's been by God and by your effort. Thank you so much.
I believe it's going to be an amazing journey for us. His personality is somebody who is very cheer. He's a cheered up person, and I believe he is going to make life really amazing. The God-fearing part of him is the other part where I am confident that there is nothing that can fail us, and we are going to stand up to the end when called back by the Almighty.
For my beloved sweetheart, I love her because of so many things. But what really swept me off my feet is her character, her personality. She's a melancholy, if we can say, use that Greek word, but literally meaning she's that mild person, a very loving person, caring, and very, very sensitive to humanity.
My husband to be, my darling, this is one thing that I promise you, that I will always be there. I will stand with you in thick and thin, and with God, I know that we shall overcome up to the time we are called back. Daddy, mommy, my sister banje, my brothers banje, my friends, all my relatives. I want to assure you that I am never going to shame you. I'm going to be the woman that you have brought me up to be, and I am going to try my level best to be the best version that I can ever be. To my in-laws, thank you so much for bringing up my husband to be up to this day. I am entering your family, and I am going to be a good wife to him. I'm going to be a child in the family. I'm ready to learn and be that woman who will give the family the best image and a woman to be proud of.
So as you stay with Solomon in this journey, as someone who has been married now for 15 years, I have a package for you. Put God at the center of your marriage. God at the center of your marriage. Byonna nobireija, it will find you with God. Even if you get challenges, they will find you with God and within God, or God with you. So you will not be swayed so much, or you will not be taken up so much tokuja kutalibana muno, because you're with God. Ogonza abantu, you love the family of your husband, love that family, the mother and the rest of the family members. That way you will get favor and love from them. Cook for him, omchumbira akokulya karukugonza, and make sure that he's well fed. A well fed husband is a happy one, and he will also love you. Love him because he's your husband. But above all, put God at the center of your marriage. Thank you so much, and I wish you the best of the marriage.
I would like to tell you this, just a small message for you. Love Concepta with all your heart. I can tell you that if you do, she will also do the same for you. And please, there are several things you will need to know as a man. But one of them that I would like to tell you is that always work hand in hand with her. If you're really to develop yourselves, the only way to do things is always being open to her. For as long as you're open to her, she will always open up to you. And mind you, we are not all perfect. We can never be perfect. We will always hurt each other. But when we hurt each other, what do? We reconcile. So in reconciling, our marriage stays. Otherwise, if we don't, then we will not actually learn. We need to know that we come from different backgrounds. She comes from somewhere, and you are coming from somewhere, and you're now joining together to make a very beautiful family. So for it to keep, always learn to understand her in whatever circumstances. Whether she does wrong, always understand her for your family to stay.
One message I give her is that she should spare some time always for her family, and she should not forget us, her siblings. She should spare some time, at least once a month. She should remember to always call us, because we shall surely miss her. We love you, Concepta, and you always remain in our hearts.
My message for her, since she's starting this marriage, is I want her to respect her partner, because there is too much in respect. She has to respect him, she has to respect all the in-laws, and she has to give time for her family. Let her not concentrate on too much on the work and forget home. Let her balance. And let her be welcoming and friendly to everyone.
Solomon, I would like to tell you this. As men, we're meant to look for money. Please go out there and look for money. Struggle hard to make sure that ends meet, for your family will be okay. And as Professor Edmond always says, He's not worried of today. Neither is he worried of tomorrow. He's worried of how the world will be after he has left. I would like to tell you the same, Solomon, that we need to fight now so that our future becomes bright, and even long way after we have left this world, things are better. And so let's keep fighting. Let's keep fighting for the better tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Concepta, as you're going for your new family, we wish you all the best. Us as your siblings, we wish you really all the best and God's blessings there. But don't forget where you came from. Always remember them. Pray for us as we pray for you. We shall always love you.
Aki Concepta, Arali is a biggest part of me. And so today, on such a day, I give him to you officially. I love you guys. I wish you all the best in your marriage, and I'll always love and pray for you. I wish you well.